MV3 Traders Futures Trade Radio is brought to you by The Ultimate Trader's Guide, your one-stop shop for the most valuable income-producing information on the internet. Go to ultimatetradersguide.net to learn more. Link in the description below. All right. What's going on? Welcome to Monday. Welcome to April. And of course, it wouldn't be right if I didn't have technical issues this morning. Slow me down a little bit, but we here. And we are neutral and we are prepared. So it's not a big deal. Good thing though, over the weekend I settled a lot of my slow PC issues. At least for now. Had to do a lot of upgrading and a lot of back end stuff. So should be good to go there. Alright, so let's get into this. A lot of very interesting start to the week. A lot of things gapping and having a lot of volatile activity to start today's session for Sunday evening. Make sure everything is good on my end before I get started. I'm not going to rush into trading, so there will always be trades there. And if I just for whatever reason can't get to trading today because too much other stuff is going on or whatever, there is tomorrow. So there's that. So what we saw with NQ this morning is it took a nice little dip into its bear pool, unlike the other indices to where they stayed more so north of their power range, their neutral zone overnight. So now it looks like NQ may be following suit with the supply run at the open. Was bouncing around between some A1 and some other automation points in VWAP. We finally broke above all of that, above VWAP at the top of all of those automation points. So now we're just looking for how far we're gonna go. And the good thing is I didn't miss any trades, so we're still good to go. We do have automation point up here, 240, where we're finding some supply mechanically. This environment's still looking mechanical. We'll see if we get some participation pickup this week. As of right now, I'm looking for a signal. So I'm gonna go start and get my focus on. Making sure I'm completely ready to go before I start pulling the trigger. Nice little inventory dip there at 231-ish. lifted the supply up to that 345 area. Now we're getting a little retest of that previous supply, a quick supply response off of that automation point. Go back inside of that range. Nice supply response here. A little bit of negotiating. Let's see if we're going to lift that supply. We're going to hold this area. The inventory response there, kind of holding inventory around 236. Got A1 in that same area. Some negotiating going on. See if we hold up this inventory. Here we also got inventory. Previous inventory. Okay, 230 area. Dipping deeper inside of A1. Doing this negotiating here, coming to the low of this A1. Waiting for the deal to be made so we can price can actually move in a particular direction. That's to get price to travel somewhere. So right now this inventory zone is still holding. Very weak inventory lift there. Just got some baby scalps out of that. Basically just paying for commission. Now I'm looking at a rotation point of 210. Has a high likelihood of changing. By the way, this is printing. Actually, it just changed. Making our way back down to VWAP. Slowly making our way back down to VWAP. Doing this accumulating, collecting this inventory. Got some NA. Somewhat in this budgeting type of price action, still negotiating. And it looks like we're still in this low participation to start off RTH environment. Might be getting our lift here that we've been looking for. Let's see if they're done collecting inventory and they actually want to run the supply. Took us back above A1, but we're running into that mechanical automation point at 240 again. Now there's the push through. Looking to see if we finally come out of this shop above 248. Starting to take the elevator, lifting that supply, going on the supply run. Coming into our overnight session high. This has a pretty wide zone, a pretty wide range above 260 with a high around 275. Sounds like a weather report. Now we're going to conduct some business. Now we're going to conduct some business above 256, 250. Dip that inventory down to 252. Dropping that inventory. There was some weak inventory there off that 252 area. Back down to A1. Which is now above 245. Now we're taking inventory back to that 244 area, back inside of A1. Still dropping the inventory. Taking it below that 240 area. And we also do have PMI at B period. I'm looking at I'm gonna take my B force break. It's a pretty significant inventory run here. Looking at a rotation point at 220. We got VWAP below that. But unless we make our way back above 245, that rotation point is going to stay at 220. The way this is trading, anything is possible. And some inventory at VWAP, but we're still pushing that inventory lower, still dropping the inventory. It was a nice little range there from VWAP to about 232. Set up a nice little key as we came back inside of that shop that we spent most of A period inside of. While I'm taking my break, I can see I made a couple of mistakes in my execution. Good to be aware of that in the moment as quickly as possible. Now, what I don't like to do is, like while I'm trading, while I'm supposed to be actively trading, there's an interesting spike there. I don't know if it was just me or if that was actually the market. Like, I don't know if it's my computer or the actual market saw it spike about 5 points instantly. Like we're picking up some volatility. Still got about a minute and some change before transitioning into B period. Are catching some inventory off that off that 220 area. But what I don't like to do when I'm actively trading is analyze my previous trades, because that can be a distraction. So after my session, I'll go back and then I'll analyze and see like how well my performance was. But since I have this break, I can do it now, and I can see that I did make a couple mistakes there. So it's good to be aware of that as quickly as possible. Still got some interesting volatility coming into this B period. We did close below that rotation point. It'd be interesting to see if this thing starts to sell after this, which from a daily perspective will make a lot of sense. Since we're going far, so here we go. Got some nice volatility coming in. As we transition into B period. Using PMI as an excuse. Gonna let this settle in, do what it's gonna do. And with what I just said about analyzing, so I'm actually it's a good time to mention this. Where I kind of revamped my live journal that I share at NV3 Trader or through NV3Trader.com, right? To where I'm going to start putting like more detailed information about what I do and what I see in my analysis and all that stuff inside of the journal. But it's going to go into the journal, what I'm calling my NV3 Trader Futures Trading Journal Plus. It's gonna be going inside the Journal Plus, right? So I need to work on that name. Anyway, so if you just go to the regular journal, you'll be able to see like the main points in those notes that I take. But if you want to get details of those notes, then that's gonna be exclusively for the Ultimate Trader's Guide premium members, which is the value that I'm going to put inside of there it's really cheap for everything that I'm going to put in there to be a Ultimate Trader's Guide premium member. So I'm going to start putting like this breakdown of what happened today and how I should have traded it. That's going to go inside of there. Plus a lot of other stuff that I've witnessed and studied over the past few months. Since I've started really. Everything is coming together. Alright, so I'm at the end of my break. Let me get back focused. The volatility has calmed down. It's still volatile, it's just not trading as well. Volatile relative to what we saw in the A period. It's just not as all over the place as it was before. We got the supply here at 248. 50. Got automation back below us, coming into at A1 period. A1 period, the A1. Dropping inventory back down below A1. Let's see if we make our way back to VWAP. They have some inventory right there before VWAP. Spike below VWAP pretty nicely there. How low do we go? How low do we drop this inventory? That B period inventory came off of PR -1 mechanically at 212.5. Let's see if we make it there. I caught a nice short off of that. Still in the red for the day, but coming towards the end of my trading window. Pretty much sticking from 245 and front ran VWAP for the target. Dip below VWAP. Now we're back above, coming back into the low of A1. It's that nice little B period excitement that was short-lived. come back down. We come down again. Still getting a mechanical response off of VWAP for some inventory. Got a micro supply response right above that at 232. I'm gonna negotiate a little bit up here. And another little spike off of VWAP. Definitely some low participation price action that we're seeing from my perspective, of course. Definitely got to mention that everything that I'm saying is not trading advice. We should all know that by now. So if you're trading by what I'm saying, if you're trading solely by what I'm saying, you're doing it wrong. All I'm doing is just sharing my perspective based on how long I've been here and everything that I've been aware to through my lens since I started several years ago. Now we got that, still kind of holding that supply at 232. Trying to fight our way at this automated inventory, at this mechanical inventory around 224. Just gonna negotiate again. Nice little battle here. That's inside this mechanical zone, with a high of it being where we're at right now, like around 236.25, which is our PR low. Still got some mechanics above that, some automation points above that. That one automation point at 240 still. We're still just negotiating, budgeting, preparing ourselves for whenever they're ready to make a deal and move price and actually move supply or inventory, however they want to do it. Now, while I'm saying all that, this is still tradable. It's easy to see through the lens of hindsight capital, but it's definitely still tradable. I'm just choosing to stay out of the way at this point. Coming into the end of my trade window. Back down inside the inventory, the way that they print it, if they print it as they want to break it, which we just did, we're going to drop the inventory one more time and see if we get some follow through this time. Looking at some front run of that PR -1 area, 212 area. off of this move here. Half back would be around 229.25. Inside of a bunch of noise. And by noise, I mean inside of a bunch of automation. You got just some automation points that's all congregated right there in that one area, right above VWAP. And we've been mechanical to all of these automation points throughout the session. Nice little come back inside of that liquidity pool that was created above the PR low at 236.25 area, and see how they make use of it. You can actually take that liquidity pool down to 232. Playing off of that liquidity pool below 224. See what they do with this side of it. This would give me a rotation point of 260. Now, a lot of people were saying that Friday was a tough one to trade. From my perspective, it was actually one of the easiest days to trade. And, it's going to be subjective. It's going to be based off of how you see the market, how you see, what you believe, and all of that stuff. And as I say that rotation point was just taken out, so I don't have a rotation point at this moment. By the way, that I just witnessed structure print at a micro scale. But I would say that today would be more difficult to trade than Friday's session. And difficulty just comes from belief in, of course, how your observation and your perspective, and however you plan on participating in this environment, right? It's completely subjective. But from what, the way that I look at it, Friday is one of the easiest days that we had in a while. You just had to be really patient. It just took patience because it was slow, but it was mechanical and it was methodical. And it gave a nice little trend. You just had to, see the trend as being your friend in that situation. Unlike today, where price, NQ is kind of like, there's a range that we can see in hindsight, but if you zoom in and however you're looking at it, it can look like, it's all over the place. So you definitely want to have a consistent approach. There's a lot of risk on the board that the average retail trader did not just, I wouldn't be willing to take without blowing out accounts and all that stuff. To the end of the day, we don't know where price is going to go next, even though we see the patterns, and patterns do repeat themselves and all of that stuff. There's probabilities, but there's no guarantees. Yeah. So with all that being said, now I got a rotation point that just lifted to about 270. Still kind of battling against this automation in that 232 to 224-ish area. We just picked out some inventory off that 232 area. Got a couple automation points just sitting there. It'd be interesting to see where this goes, but I have to look at it in hindsight because I'm going to close up the shop for the day. So I appreciate everybody for coming through. hanging out with me, trading with me. Hope you all have a good rest of your day, good rest of your week. And until Friday, trade it easy.